I finally got access to Copilot, both in my personal life and then also for my new job. The first thing I started to do with it is actually have it work in Excel. And I did notice some things when working with it, some limitations, some things it does great. So in this video, I gave it a messy spreadsheet, and then I asked it to clean it, build a pivot table, create a chart for a visualization, and then write a one-page summary about the data. My name is Chase, and I go over actual AI workflows that you can use in your day-to-day jobs. So this is my messy spreadsheet that we have. It's sales data. I created all of this using AI. It's no sensitive information. But we have our export row, our order ID, customer, and so on. We have our notes. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just ask Copilot to actually look at the data and tell me what it sees first and kind of go off of that. So once you pull up Copilot, which is usually in your right-hand corner, that is just hovering there, you have a couple of options. You have a plan. This one I highly recommend. From what I've seen when I do try a plan, there is mistakes that it's made. For example, it chooses the wrong columns or the wrong data sources when I give it specific instructions. So depending on what you're doing, I would always go with plan first before it actually starts taking action. But you can allow it to edit, and once it completes something, it asks you if it's good, and then you hit done, and then it will actually save it, which we'll go over later. And then if you then looking at the other options within inside this chat, you have your different models that you can use. You could use Claude, Opus, and then also ChatGPT. You have personalization, and then you also have managed skills, which right now it just has Finex. And then we have a start a new chat. And then going down, we have our select sources. So we can decide if it wants to work on the web, stay within work. And then you also have some other things that you can connect it to, like your Google Calendar, Granola, which is a note-taking app, Notion, and so on. And then you could add content, so work content, upload files, images and files, add all skills, or create workbook rules. So we'll go ahead and give it our first prompt. We just wanted to pretty much look at the messy data and see what problems it actually sees. So a couple of things to know looking at this data to compare it to what it actually gives us is our locations is kind of all over the place. Some are misspelled. The sales reps. We have the order date, which again, all the formatting is pretty much everywhere. And then I believe we do have some duplicates in the order ID that you'll have to look for. And then the order, and then looking at the quote amount, again, it's just pretty much all over the place, not clean data. Usually what you would see at work, like just recently, I got a spreadsheet and I was trying to add it to another spreadsheet, but every month column was different ways of saying the month and year. So it just came back with the issues, and I pointed out some of the ones that I thought were going to come up. And we actually have a lot more. So we have those duplicate rows I mentioned that should be in there. And then we have some invalid dates, just a ton of issues. So AI did a great job in giving me a really messy spreadsheet, which depending on your job, you probably have something similar to this. And just actually going through all of this and making these changes, each one that's really time consuming. So we have our recommended cleaning steps. We have about 413 here, and then also give us some summary statistics. So we know all the issues. We have a total 89 rows, and then a number of each of the issues that we see. So we'll go ahead and actually clean that. Go ahead, put in my prompt. And basically, I just want to keep everything standardized, and then also include some issue flags and include an exit. So pretty much we're just gonna go ahead with the cleaning, and we'll let that run. So we can see it's working. And the nice thing too is it did create a new tab for cleaned output. This is just so we don't lose any data when we are cleaning it, and we always have that raw, unedited data. And that's just from a prompt where I said create a clean table. So it could have just honestly worked right inside the same tab. So that's a good sign that it's actually taking that step to take it to a new location. So far, what I have seen from Copilot, it does take a few minutes to do all of these changes, but again, it's something you could just minimize this screen, let it work, and then continue on a different project. And I have it on auto, but it looks like it's actually using Claude for this exact workflow. So that's interesting. We'll go ahead, pause it there, and then I'll come back once it's finished. Just got done. And like I mentioned earlier, it has this kind of rainbow outline. But what this means is it's just saying, do you want to complete it? And if you don't, you can undo it, or you describe what you want to edit, which is nice because you're not just automatically updating it. So I use a plan, but technically you don't have to do that if you just want to be quick and then manually check the changes once it is complete. And then we also have our output, which is just what it did. So it gives you a short description, the column, and then the summary statistics. So we have the one revenue, the open pipeline. So we have 5 duplicates, order IDs, valid data. And then it also did apply some conditional formatting, which is nice. So we have the light red, which is background for excluded rows, and then light yellow background for open orders that are 30 days old. So I did do this previously, and I did it more manual. So I do have a expected clean output that I did, and we do have the same number of rows. So it didn't delete anything that shouldn't have been deleted, which is a great sign. And we'll go ahead and look at the clean outputs. It looks like most of it is the same. And that's another thing we could do, is we could have it actually compare the two. That's something else I did. But we can have it actually compare this one to the other one that I did manually. Looking at the location, it has been standardized. The region also has been standardized. The sales reps has been. So everything looks good. We'll go ahead and accept that. And it also did freeze the rows, which is nice. So next, with sales data, we want to add a little bit onto it. So we're going to add this prompt, and we're going to see if it can add formulas. And from what I've seen, it's been pretty good at this so far. Sometimes you have to be very specific, and if you do a plan or if you do an edit, definitely check where it's getting its data, because sometimes it will source the wrong rows. And anytime with this, I would say never have it just give you values, but always have formulas with it so you can check its work. We'll go ahead and send that. Overall, looking pretty good though. Definitely just doing the conditional formatting and then manually going through, or even using formulas to clean this data, would take so much more time. And it took me 3 minutes. And then I was working on something else while I was waiting for it to load. But I'm going to pause it and go work on something else. So we'll come back once it's completed. It just finished up, and it was actually really fast. I wasn't able to do anything, which is a little disappointing. But going back to the prompt, we asked it to add a formula for the month, which we can see it just added a new row, and then we have the actual formula here. So that's something you check. It looks at the order date and then grabs the month from that. And then we also created a gross margin. We'll just go ahead and view that, just making sure that it is taking the right. Looking at gross margin, we have the formula that we'll just check. So let's look at order amount and making sure it is include in reporting. So we're not including any of the ones that should be excluded. You always want to check these. So I'm just going to go to this and make sure everything looks correct. So we do have one that is negative and should be excluded. So it was able to exclude that. Same with the duplicate order one. So everything's looking good there. We'll go ahead and show everything. And then the last one that we created was need the follow-up. So this looks at the status, the issue flags to make sure it's okay. And if the status is 1, then it won't look at it. But if it has age of days also, then it will show that it needs to be followed up with. So this one's open, but we haven't actually received the order. So we'll just go ahead and go to open and just make sure everything looks good. These do have no, but they do have an order that is open. So I looked into it more, and I do have a reference table that is specific for this, and it has to be 30 days open before they actually reach out. So everything looks to be in order. All the formulas came out good. We double checked them, everything looks good. We'll go ahead and go to our next steps. For the next step, we're just going to go ahead and prompt it to do some quality checks, because the next step, we are going to have it actually create a dashboard. So this is, again, just making sure it's producing everything we want it to, because AI does hallucinate, and if it's something like this, you don't want it to hallucinate. And I only have 90 rows of data, but if you had anything larger, then it could become a real issue if there's mess ups. So let's see which one this is going to be. Oh, it doesn't tell you if it's using Claude or another one. I still have it on auto. Just finished up, and we have our quality checks. Gives us the summary, and then the formula examples, and then also features. And it just shows that everything passed. So this is what we expected, and then the count in the clean order, which is this output. So they got this number from when we did our first prompt with the raw orders and the messy data. So everything seemed to check out. So that's a pretty cool feature you can have with it too, is you can always find ways to double check yourself, which is always good. We will go ahead and just jump to the next one. We'll say done for that. And then let's go ahead and build a summary dashboard. It just finished up. We have the same format of what is completed. And then we have a line chart that it was able to provide. That's one thing I have seen with Copilot, is the visuals are usually not the best. It actually did pretty good here. And this could be because I was thinking about this, but at my job, I don't have the ability to choose different platforms. And this is my own personal account. So I think I have more abilities here than the normal Copilot would. So that's something to keep in mind there. But we have our key performance indicators, which is our revenue that we have won, the open pipeline, so any revenue that's waiting to be approved, the close rate on that, number of rows that are excluded, and then also the follow-up items and gross margin. And then we have it by month and region. So overall, really well for a first go at this. We'll just go ahead and click done. We have a dashboard. Let's try to make it go a little bit more advanced to keep where it breaks. So I'm just going to copy and paste in some prompts, create some pivot tables, some variance tables, and let's see if it can do it. And then let's see if it can work in multiple tabs. So let's start a new chat, and then going to do that. I actually have been mostly just working in one chat. So actually, I don't think you could do multiple chats at a time, can you? Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I wanted the pivot table. Oh, shoot. We'll let that finish up. Also, another thing that I do like about having Copilot here is you can brainstorm it. So if you are making visuals or something for presentation from sales data, it's a great way to actually brainstorm, because it can look directly at what you're doing. So instead of having to use ChatGPT to brainstorm and then trying to fill it in on the exact context, you can just do that directly in Excel. And that goes the same for PowerPoints, my Copilot, and stuff like that. It's currently building it, so we just found a limitation. You can only have one chat going at a time, so keep that in mind. It just finished up, so we have our top performers. Everything looks good, but as I was looking through, it doesn't look like it actually has a formula, but it sounds like at the bottom it does have that included. So let's actually test this. Just Let's go to north. That was the main amount. So let's do 5,000. Shoot, did I remember? It said it would update. Alright, let's come back. So what was the original? 146. So let's make that something noticeable. So our gross margin went up and it did go up. So it is set up as a formula and these will update. So the one thing I don't like is you're not actually able to see the formula, which I always use to double check. We will go back and do the pivot table because I think that one's huge for a lot of us that use Excel at work. We need to create pivot tables. And then it should also be able to create a macro too. I haven't tested that, and personally I don't use a macro too much, but that's something you can test out in your own free time. Once we do this pivot table, see how it does, then we'll wrap it up. And just finished up, and it looks like it was able to create the pivot table. We'll go ahead and look at the summary, see some key insights. We'll just hit done with that. And let's check the functionality, make sure everything looks good. All right, did pretty well with that. So it was able to create a pivot table. Overall, I was able to take a messy spreadsheet, clean it up using Microsoft Copilot. And it only took me about 10 minutes to actually clean it up and then also create tables and visualizations that I could then show my boss. And I included steps along the way to actually check for accuracy with the data. Overall, I did a lot better than I was expecting. I think this one's a little bit different because I do have access to ChatGPT and Claude for the thinking part of this compared to just the Copilot side, which I think I have at work. The main thing when using this is just to double check your work and be very specific. You can use the plan feature and then make critiques to it, because often when you're actually working with a data source that is a little bit messier, it will take from the wrong sources or it will misunderstand you. The same things that so a lot of the same issues you run into with just using regular LLMs, chatbots. I would highly recommend it though, because it saves you a ton of time and just makes you look like a superstar to your coworkers. In my next videos, I am going to download the extensions for Claude and ChatGPT. I expect similar results, but maybe I can find some really advanced applications, maybe creating macros to really test these models. But if you guys do have any use cases that you're struggling with at your own work, then let me know in the comments because I'll test them out.